great to see you all here today. As Levi was so kind to introduce me, my name is Aimee Copas. I serve as the Executive Director for the North Dakota Council of Educational Leaders, and dually as the Director for the North Dakota Lead Center. And we're here today to talk to you a little bit about leadership. And I didn't have a cool PowerPoint nor a cool video, so I brought the coolest thing ever, and that's a fourth grader from one of our Bismarck schools. So this is Aaliyah. I will shamelessly admit she's my daughter. Isn't she cute? So she's going to help me out a little bit today, and I want to share with you a little bit of the reason as to why we're here to talk about this. And Levi kind of alluded to it a little bit, and that's this whole process of leadership and how critical it is to this whole deal that we're talking about. We can have all kinds of grassroots movements from our teachers, but without the help and support of innovative leaders, it becomes very difficult to pull it out and pull it forward in form and function. So many of you probably know that the whole piece of leadership is it's about social influence. It's a person that can enlist the aid of those around them to make significant change and to lead them toward a common vision. And that's what we're here to talk about today. So Superintendent Baszler is really great at talking about how there's never been a school that's made transformational change in a positive way that didn't have an amazing leader as a part of that team. And that's absolutely true. Next to our teachers, it is the leadership in our school that's next in line, according to research, to have the most positive influence on student achievement and positive change for our students. So we're here to talk to you a little bit about that today, and I'm pretty excited to have three of my good friends. We brought in a buddy from a large district, a middle-sized district, and a small district, and we're going to talk about what's going on in our schools that is amplifying what we're talking about here today. So Aaliyah's going to help lead this a little bit. So first of all, we're going to visit with Dr. Mike Bitz from Mandan, and Aaliyah has a question for him.
Dr. Bitz, what do you do in your schools as a leader that's awesome?
Thanks for the question. No, I think one of the things that I've learned real quick is there are a lot of smart people around us, and you listen to them, and you work together, you collaborate, and you let them do their jobs. One of the things we're doing with professional development that I'm really excited about is we kept bringing in speakers and experts into our community and paying thousands of dollars to give professional development to our staff. And it worked well. We'd survey our staff, and half the people would say they were great. Other people say, I already knew this, or this didn't really apply to me. I didn't need this. And we talked about what are some things we could do. We have 312 teachers, and how do we provide professional development to all of them? And Perry Just, one of our curriculum people, said, God, some of our best people on staff could do this. And we talked about how do we do this. So what we did is right now we're one-to-one K-12 with iPads, and we use Canvas as our LMS, our learning management system. And we approached several of our teachers or our experts and asked them if they could create a course for us in Canvas, provide professional development in their area of expertise. And we paid them $300 to do that. Last year we had 13 courses that we rolled out to our staff and let them take these courses, everything from Native American essential understandings to in the areas of mental health, technology, and we let them take these courses. Every teacher and administrator took at least one course. We offered over 500 courses to our staff last year, and it cost us to develop those courses $4,000. It was the cheapest, best professional development that we had. We call it PD in your PJs, because they're able to do it at home. This year they're asking us, are we doing it again? Are we doing it again? We've developed 7 more courses. We're going to have 20 classes now, and we're not going to roll it out till September. If they take 2 classes, each class is about 8 hours long, they can get graduate credit from the University of Mary. So they're excited to do that. It's been just a real low-cost, high-impact activity that we've done.
Awesome, Dr. Bitz. Thank you so much. And I think that you also have another program going on in Mandan Public Schools. I believe you call it the Next Steps program. Would you share a little bit about that with us?
It is. That's a partnership that we have with the Division of Juvenile Services and YCC, and we basically created a day treatment program, or a school within a school, at both our middle school and our high school. We have 3 sessions. We're going to start at 8:30 in the morning, and we're going to keep their kids there till 7 at night. And I think the exciting thing for me about this is the wraparound services that we're going to be able to offer our students. We do education well, but we've got a lot of our kids who have mental health issues, who have addiction issues, who need treatment, and we're building in, we call it a golden time, where there's 3 times a day where they're gonna be able to do treatment in groups, receive the services that they need, and we're just really excited about that, and I think it's gonna work well.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Dr. Bitz. I appreciate that very much. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to our more middle-sized school. So catch what I'm saying here. You guys are all from different sized communities. What I want to show you today, part of it is that leadership and innovating in leadership can happen in your building regardless of size, regardless of any of your circumstances. And it can happen by taking away something here today, taking it home and making it happen. So our next person up for bids here at the moment is our superintendent from Beulah, Mr. Travis Jordan. Aaliyah, I believe you have a question for Mr. Jordan.
Mr. Jordan, what do you do in your school that's awesome as a leader?
Well, yeah, thanks for asking. It's a long list of things. Besides really cool Snapchat videos that you've mentioned to announce school closings, we started an impact program in Beulah with our Coal Country Community Health Center, and I am big into social emotional learning and mental health awareness, as you all saw that earlier. But we actually bring our clinic into the school system to work with our kids. We all know, and you all know, that your counselors in the school buildings are completely overused, overwhelmed, and underpaid. And so we had to do something. Our YRBS results indicated that we were above average in a lot of categories. And so we were able to partner with a Coal Country Community Health, where we bring in a licensed clinical psychologist, a licensed clinical social worker, a licensed individual for addiction counseling, and they work with our kids on a daily basis. I believe they come in once a week, and all 3 schools, we have 3 different buildings in the Beulah School District. And so it's really been good because, as you're well aware, we can have kids and we can try to have kids go see a doctor, but parents don't always adhere to that, or they don't always listen to that. But when you have a licensed clinical psychologist in the building saying, hey, we need to take the next steps with this kid, it's a lot easier and there's a lot more behind it. And so we do the impact program and we do some Snapchat videos. How's that for you?
That's fantastic, Mr. Jordan. Can I see a show of hands of anybody that's seen Mr. Jordan's the school's called off because of weather videos? If you haven't, go to Facebook, find him, take a look. It will make your day.
My face right now is a little prettier than it is in those videos.
Much.
You know, Travis, to your point though, they always say that check your leadership at the door, right? So you're gonna know if you're a leader if you turn around and you see people following you. And it's not only important to lead our teachers, but to lead our students. And I would have to bet that having some humor in your life makes you much more appealing to your students, that makes you more livable, more real for them, and makes you the kind of person they want to listen to and want to follow. So having a little humor in your life isn't an all bad deal.
Well, more appealing to my students, less appealing to my wife.
Fair, touche. All right, so now let's move to our small school. So from Fessenden-Bowdon, I have here Mrs. Nancy Bollingberg. Aaliyah, do you have a question for her?
Yes, I do. Last but certainly not least, the same question I asked these two. What do you do in your schools as a leader that's awesome?
Well, thank you very much. I just want to start, we are a small school. We have 160 students, pre-K through 12. And so I envy when I hear some of these things that the larger schools do, but on the other hand, because we are small, we definitely can do personalized learning, and we definitely have relationships with every student, and that is a priority. So something that we started last year, it's personalized learning for every student, and it's K through 11. This year we're going to jump up to 12. And for a half an hour in the morning and a half an hour at the end of the day, we have students go to various teachers, and we use teachers, our pairs, administrators, whoever, and students work on a specific concept that they maybe have a gap in. So our strategist has identified a goal for them, a goal score based on their MAP assessments, and then they have a list of multiple concepts that they maybe need to work on. And so once they've mastered a concept, working with that individual, they're out, might be moving to a different group. So for a half an hour in the morning and a half an hour at the end of the day, there's a lot of movement, a lot of transition, but a lot gets done. We've had students move grade levels within a few months in reading or in math, just because they finally mastered a specific content that was holding them back. Students get it. And when we talk about the growth mindset that we've been listening to quite a bit today, they understand what learning is. It's not about memorizing. It's not about facts. It's about understanding and then being able to transfer that knowledge to the other areas. It doesn't come without some failure. It doesn't come without making changes, but it's okay. And that's something I have to commend staff, and it's the educating staff and allowing them to be leaders and to make some change and to try things. It was like the Williston student mentioned, let us try. Well, I let my staff try pretty much anything, and if it works, that's great, and if not, well, let's rework it. And I think that's something that students have bought into. And I said, next year we're gonna look at 12th graders, because the teachers at the end of the year said, why aren't the seniors? Everybody has a gap. Why aren't the seniors getting a chance to maybe work on some of those concepts before they hit college or a career? And so a little bigger buy-in by the older kids, but we are going to pull it up to the senior level. So it's an hour out of our day, but it's definitely focused and it's great.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic. What a great example of what we can be doing in some of our smaller schools as well to really bring this innovative theme home and personalizing the learning for our kiddos. So here's the interesting thing about this. Oops, I dropped my notes, but that's okay. It's kind of like falling upstairs. It's all how you do it with grace. So I brought up here today folks with tenure, folks with experience that have dedicated their lives to personally getting better. I had a wise person once tell me that when you're green, you're growing, and when you're ripe, you're rotten. And that's absolutely true when it comes to leadership in education. So did you know that in North Dakota this year, we have over 60 brand new educational leaders, and that's a low-end number. I did a survey late last year, and I got about 60% of the districts that responded, and I know of over 60. So we have a whole new generation of leaders coming into the field of leadership. They're brand new to their jobs, and they're probably swimming right now. It's absolutely true. So how do you make this work? Well, here's the deal, guys. Sometimes, very rarely, leaders are born. More often, however, they're developed. So how do we get to the point where we work on the development of leaders? Well, one of the things that our team of educational leaders around the state is absolutely dedicated to is it's continuing to create this family of leaders and working with each other to cross-collaborate and make each other better. There's a number of ways in which we do that. One of them that's critically important and has been supported both by the feds, the state legislature, the Department of Public Instruction, is in mentorship. We have teacher mentorship, but did you know that we also have leader mentorship? It's a relatively newer program, about 5 years old, and this year in North Dakota, we have well over 50% of these new leaders that are going to be tagged with mentors in-state, seasoned professionals like these folks to help groom them into being the awesome leader that they possibly could be. We need more support in that area, absolutely, because mentorship is a time-consuming task. So we're continually looking for grants and other ways to continue to fund that. It's critically important because, again, when you're green, you're growing. When you're ripe, you're rotten. We want to continue this lifelong learning process. So how do we make these leaders not just be status quo, but to actually be the folks that are going to be the movers and the shakers? Well, you heard Jeff Fake just a little bit ago talk about one of the ways. And I see one of my partners in crime right out there in the audience. Dr. David Flowers and I have been pondering these notions for a long time. And last year, with the help of some outside support, we launched what was called the Innovation Academy 1.0. We exclusively sent out invitations to a number of districts, and I think we had 14 districts participate. In fact, I think Beulah did, and so did Mandan. And we put a heavy focus on the shifts of change within school. What does it take? And then going through the whole process of creating innovation within a district. Each district took on a project and all the steps to pulling it forward. Each district would bring a team of people. And that team had to include a leader, so one of the folks that's an educational leader in the district, an administrator, and a team of teachers, sometimes curriculum directors. And they worked together to solve a problem of practice and come back with an innovative solution. It was fantastic. We contracted with an outside person to come in and help us do that. And we did this with deliberate thought process in mind. We wanted to train the trainer. So we had 70 leaders within our state get trained on what this looks like. Now we're taking some of those key leaders and we're hosting Innovation Academy 2.0. Starts this year. For 5 days, another 15 plus districts, and we still have openings for other districts if you're interested, are gonna come in and go through this process. This is so awesome because it teaches a group of your folks within your district how to lead change and innovation within the school. Once they figured out how to do this, they can continue to do this and to continue to spread this in their district. We have some districts that are bringing back a second team. Maybe the first time they brought high school, now they're bringing an elementary team, or vice versa. It is absolutely phenomenal. This is now all homegrown and North Dakota led. We have nobody from outside of North Dakota coming and doing this with us. It is absolutely leaders, teachers, administrators, the talent in North Dakota leading this innovative change. It's awesome. If you're interested in something like this or being a part of something like this, contact me. As long as there is excitement to innovate, we will continue to keep trying to grow and develop our leaders in North Dakota. That's what we're all about. And the beauty of it is, we do it as a team. We do it with these fine folks right here and these fine folks out in the audience. So I'm gonna give you back a little bit of your time then today, and I thank you very much for all of your time and attention, and I thank my panel here. Can we give them all a warm round of applause? And how about one for this cute little monkey here? Woo! Thank you very much.